Welcome, everybody. John Zager. Good afternoon. 2:28 Colorado time. This is my second podcast of the day. And I had another thought, and I wanted to get back on and kind of talk about it a little bit. The weather, of course, is very hot. What is it? Oh, it's only 90. Oh, that's not bad. No clouds anywhere to be seen, and dry. Very, very dry. Typical summer, Colorado. It'll all be good. But I've been working really hard since this morning's podcast and blog. And I wanted to get back on because I got some feedback and I wanted to share it. Couple tidbits of research that I ran into. And these are kind of interesting, actually. I'm going to put them in my blog tomorrow. I copied them. I might just copy them right into the blog. I'm not real sure yet. But I was listening to one of Dr. Joe's lectures. I forget where he was this time. But he was talking about research that he ran into for people that were diabetic. And it was kind of interesting research, but they took two groups of people. The first group, they're both diabetics, both groups, and their, I guess, insulin levels in both groups were sky high, right? And in the first group, they were told to come back, tomorrow, the next day, and they were going to listen to a 1-hour lecture on laughter of some kind. The lecture was going to be funny. The lecture was going to be entertaining. It would have the group hopefully laughing and just enjoying listening to the lecture. And so that group came in the next day and they attended the 1-hour lecture, and it was funny and entertaining, and when they took their levels at the end of the group, right? And again, understand that everybody in the group had like way out of control high levels. I guess it's insulin levels. I'm not real sure. But it dropped all the way down to 128, thereabouts. When I put the information in the blog tomorrow, it'll be factual. I'm just trying to recall the numbers right now and that sort of thing. And so it had dropped down significantly, a lot, down to 128. I guess that's really a good number. And the second group was told the previous day to come back the next day, and they were going to be shown a 1-hour movie that was just totally funny and irrelevant, and they would have them rolling on the floor laughing so hard. Right? So they came in the next day and they watched this 1-hour funny movie, and I don't know if you call it insulin levels or whatever it is. I'm not a doctor. But they dropped all the way down to 90, which is very, very low numbers for diabetics, as I understand. And it was just the whole idea that through laughter, they were able to downregulate and upregulate genes that had a direct impact on their diabetes and insulin levels. Dumping bad, bringing back in good, good genes, good cells. So that was interesting, and it got me thinking that, well, that's interesting. I wonder how laughter has to do with cardiovascular stuff and blood pressure, the obvious. And so I went and I found research, and again, I'm going to put this in a blog, and I think I'm just going to copy it into the blog so that I get all of it factual. They talked about if a person, with high blood pressure, preferably, uncontrolled high blood pressure or whatever, if they laugh for 10 minutes, really laugh for 10 minutes, within 20 minutes, their blood pressure levels drop down to normal-ish. And their immune system gets boosted, strengthened. And here's the more interesting part. It'll last several days, having the blood pressure drop down to within normal limits-ish. So laughter, genuine laughter for 10 minutes, will take about 20 minutes to drop the blood pressure. The blood pressure will stay down for a couple, 2-3 days. And it boosts the immune system. What do you think of that? So again, it's the same principle as before, like Dr. Joe was talking about. It's down-regulating and up-regulating genes and cells that are unhealthy and bringing healthy cells back up. And bringing genes and cells that'll boost the immune system. And they have specific names for these genes that enhance or better your blood pressure. They have specific names for that. I don't remember what all the scientific names are. I'll put them in the blog tomorrow. Okay, I'm just going to copy the blog. But the point being is that we're now finding out, and again, this is relatively new, that we can upregulate and downregulate all kinds of good and bad genes through various means. We had used meditation for the past several months as a tool to talk about. Now we have laughter creeping into our tool bag, which your mind starts to just kind of go on and on with what other kinds of tools might there be. I mean, I can't think of one right off the bat, but love, there's one. Genuine love, care concerning, that sort of thing. That genuine feeling, I would guess, I haven't found the research on it yet, but I will, can upregulate, downregulate genes. Specific genes to enhance the immune system and rid your body of disease. Pretty interesting, huh? I wanted to kind of come on and just toss that in there. I have one other little tidbit, and then I'm done. This isn't going to be long at all. So I'm having some concerns about the numbers that I'm attracting, right? I did go back and look at the numbers for podcasts. And I'm ashamed to say, I tease when I say one or none or two. But I'm not teasing very far off, because the numbers actually seem, I went back and pulled some hard numbers out of the last couple months or so, and it looks like there's, on the podcast, there's only about 6 or 8 people. I'm getting a fair amount of downloads. I think I had 16 or 18 downloads. It says 4 people that are following me in my podcasts. Boy, if you can follow me, that sure would help. See, here's the deal, you guys, and I'm not going to make a big deal of this. I mean, you get paid doing podcasts from sponsorship based on how many followers you have, how many viewers you have, how many listeners you have. That's how come you'll hear people who are doing YouTube, they're just constantly saying to you, hit the like button and subscribe. Well, I guess I'm saying the same thing. Hit the like button and subscribe or follow. In my podcasts, in my YouTube, subscribe to my blog. At any rate, hit the damn buttons, will you, for the Amazon links? Will you just please do that? That's those numbers, the number of times that the links are hit, you get paid for. I don't know how that works. And if, Lord forbid, if you actually bought something, then you get a little bump, like I said this morning. So here's the feedback that I got, and again, I'm going to ask for the 6 or 8 people, I hope, that are listening, to offer some feedback. Here it is. This is an objective feedback I got this morning. Number 1, I shouldn't be doing podcasts every single day. And I should do even as few as one a week. And I should make it interesting enough to where, like the top 10 of something or the top 5 of something, that hooks people to listen. I'm not putting stuff as a lead, the name of the podcast or, what we're trying to accomplish. I'm not making it interesting enough to where people want to jump in and listen. That's the feedback I got on my podcast. Please comment to that if you would. Number 2, my blogs. I mean, here I am doing my second podcast. I guess there's some days that I do 2 and 3 blogs a day. Quit it. Stop it. You're not going to get anybody from... When you do stuff more than you should, it turns people off and they just go away. That's the feedback I got. And I'd be curious. And again, it's the same thing. I'm not hooking anybody with what I put down. I might put down healing or who knows, whatever I put down, one word kind of things. I have to be more descriptive and a little more specific. That would create an interest for you guys to go read it. That's the feedback I got. So to do, if I'm doing 7, I should maybe do 1 or 2 a week of the blogs and 1 or 2 a week of the podcasts. And the podcasts, of course, are YouTube. And the podcasts, of course, are iHeartRadio. Same thing's true over there. I mean, based on how many people go to iHeartRadio, and then you go to podcasts, and then you go to John Zager. Nobody's going there. You don't have to get the podcasts through the links on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or Google Plus or wherever I'm putting them. You just go to iHeartRadio and hit podcasts and then hit John Zager and you're there. they take care of me if I get my numbers up over there too. Same thing with YouTube. YouTube. You can go there and just go to my channel. I can't believe I'm actually saying this stuff that everybody else hounds on. But if you go to John Zager and his channel and like and subscribe, you can listen to all the podcasts and everything you want. And again, by going there, you become a statistic that helps me, or when you listen to everybody else, they ask you to do the same thing, and you become a statistic for them, and that enhances their, ability to make a couple dollars. We're not talking about a whole lot of money on all this stuff. We're just talking about, subsidizing a little income for gas and food. That's about all it amounts to. But it is important, you guys. It is important. So, jzager@gmail.com. I'm not going to confuse you guys by giving you all kinds of different ways to track me down. Just keep it at my email address, jzegar@gmail.com. I now know for a fact that there's 6 or 8 people every day listening, and in my blogs there's about 60-ish a day reading my blogs. I need those numbers to go up by 100-fold. I believe it's on YouTube. If you don't have 1,000 hits, so to speak, you don't make a cent. Same thing with podcasts. If you don't have at least 1,000. Some people are having 1,000 every hour or two. My podcasts, I have 6 or 8. So, that's all I know. Send me an email. You can say whatever you want to say. I don't care. I love doing it. And I can be more specific. And I can do less. And I can get maybe a little more honed in on a specific topic and stay there. But my background's psychology, I love people and just the interactions with people and why they do the things they do. And the whole Dr. Joe thing with staying well and healthy, it's just totally fascinating to me. And we all, by listening to me and the other hundreds of people out there doing what I do, along with Dr. Joe, we all have the tools to stay well and healthy and live a long, long, disease-free life. So, at any rate, send me some emails on what you think about what I just talked about this afternoon, and I will take it under advisement. And if it means me shutting up and not writing as much, then I will do that. Just let me know. It's okay. So anyway, have yourself a good afternoon. Talk to you all again in the morning unless I hear differently. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.